You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time. You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Check. What up? All right, I had to say check because I didn't see my EQ lights going off, but I see they're on. So when the EQ light's on, I know it's recording. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators and my noobs. Just something I'm belting out for people brand new to the podcast. Just, if you just randomly stumbled upon me, I've been doing this since about June or July. I'm about 65, little over 60 episodes in. I think 68 or 69, something like that. So I'm relatively green still, but, I've been building momentum and gaining the audience, and thank you for that. I've decided to deem my audience my narrators. So if you are new to the podcast and you're wondering what this podcast is about, allow me to explain. It's called the Narrative Podcast, and it's called the Narrative Podcast for a reason. It's called the Narrative Podcast because I changed the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative Black stereotypes. And the reason I feel I need to do that is because the media and all other frames of reference and outlets, or all other digital outlets and media outlets, portray Black people in a negative light, portray Black culture in a negative light. So in essence, they hyper-criminalize our men, hyper-sexualize our women, have our children, painting out our children to be, juvenile delinquents, despots. And so I want to create a platform where I'm showcasing and highlighting our successes. I provide positive frames of reference about Black people and Black culture. So that's what this podcast is all about, providing positive frames of reference and thus changing the narrative. So that's about it in a nutshell. Today is not a random live because I announced I was going to go live on my platforms, but essentially it's a random live. And on my lives, what I like to do is share articles about Black people doing positive things in the community. Again, providing those positive frames of reference. So this is just an all positivity platform. I don't promote negativity. I try not to, engage in current news. I try to keep everything around the concentric theme that about us, just our news, positivity, just showcasing and highlighting us winning. But when certain situations arise in the current news, I have to, change the narrative, take control of the narrative, I should say, from the Black perspective, as it relates to us, as it relates to Black people and Black culture. So, I got to tell our side of it, because the media will have us looking and sounding crazy. So, and people outside of Black culture, if that's, all they got to judge Black people on is the frames of reference they're given, they would think, we're all animals. They'll think we're all savages. They'll think we're all unlearned. We all speak a certain way. So true to the fact we have some nuances in our culture that all cultures have. Every culture has a nuance, but apparently, it's accepted to make fun of our nuances within our culture. But I digress. Moving forward, I'm going to share some articles that I came across today with you that I found very interesting, very positive, very uplifting. But before I go into that, I'm going to just go over the format for the noobs, people new to the podcast. So when I have a normal broadcast day, what I do is I promote some Black-owned businesses. And the reason why I promote the Black-owned businesses is, again, to provide a positive frame of reference about Black people and Black culture, showcasing that, we can overcome our adversities. We can, be a contributor to this thing called humanity, that we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, because the media, again, is psychological warfare. It's programming and conditioning, so it's not accidental that they do these things. It's really contrived the way they generate and break news stories about Black people and Black culture. So that's why I want to, showcase and highlight that. Black-owned businesses. The types of Black-owned businesses that I like to promote are Black-owned businesses that do some type of community outreach. So, like, definitely when I see it headline, Black woman, Black man, such and such starts this business, I try to make sure that they're hiring their own, that they're giving back to the community, that they're doing some type of outreach program, providing some type of tangible resource to encourage empowerment within the community, such as maybe like a job training class or something, financial literacy, back to school, feeding the homeless, things of that nature, coat drives, just anything the community may need their business provides, not just in the community, just taking, because that's just as bad as when people outside of Black culture do it. That's worse when you are Black and you have have a business in the community, in don't assist the community. So, excuse all this rattling. I'm trying to get comfortable and situated. Then after I promote the Black-owned businesses. Next, I'll spotlight, I got ahead of myself. What I've been doing lately, I gotta I'm promoting a contest called Chew on This contest. Basically, I'm gonna give you a bulk supply of your favorite snack for, sharing your experience with me, or participating with the topic discussion. And the topic discussion is shopping while black. So I have a contest where I want you to share your shopping while black experience, and then I'll reward you for entering the contest with a bulk supply of your favorite snack. Then also, I extend the olive branch to Black-owned business owners if they need free promotion to reach out to me, and then I'll promote their business product or service. Then I go on to promote the Black-owned businesses. So after I'm done promoting the Black-owned businesses, I'll spotlight a prominent figure, somebody in the Black community doing positive things for the community, or using their voice and their platforms to encourage empowerment, shed light, spread awareness on something that plagues our community, or that's a concern in our community. So some type of activism, some type of outreach, some type of giving back. The people I usually spotlight are entertainers, either actors, actresses, somebody in the recording industry, filmmakers, producers. I showcase and I just spotlight them, give them their roses while they're here. If they've been doing positive things, but people don't talk about the positive things that they do a lot. So those are the types of people I spotlight. Then next, after that, the spotlight, I go on to health and wellness tip of the day. And the reason I feel like I need to do health and wellness tips because we are a highly traumatized people. And so we got, an invisible thing out here making people sick, even though we haven't been hearing people speak about it in quite a while. It's still out there. And, it's almost like it was bioengineered specifically for us anyway. But so I just come up with, tips and just health and wellness tips to promote an active, healthy, fit lifestyle, whether it's some type of exercise, whether it's the health benefits of a plant, herb, fruits, or veggie. I just, feel I should share those little tidbits to keep your immune system fortified, to, promote wellness and mindful breathing, to have you in, right frame of mind in these times that we're in now, so that, your immune system doesn't get compromised. And then after the health and wellness tip, I close out with a speaking point, if I have a speaking point for that day, and then just final little, pearls of wisdoms, just an observation or something, or just something I was reflecting on and want to share it with you. So that's, my normal broadcast day. I try to do it all, have it all packaged neatly in under an hour. Sometimes it's a little bit over an hour. When I first started doing it, it was like 2.5